Are you stupid or something? You probably are, and buddy, that's alright. You're in the right place to learn some stuff, so stick around and you just might. My name is Notme, and I'll be asking some Q's, and at the end you'll be riddled with A's. You might score real high, but even if not, you'll sure be glad you played. If you're looking for prizes, just move along, there's no money for you to earn. You win by trying and doing your best, your prize is the stuff you learn. If you want to be an artist, you have to know all you can about the world of art. So engage with this quiz, and at the end you'll say, I am smart.
I am not me, I am Art, and I am your host. There's my face for I Am Smart, the Not Me quiz. The quiz where people look to improve their art, their lives, and their selves through learning and earn the right to say, I am smart. The format of the quiz, very simple, very straightforward. 3 rounds of questions for your brain, 3 musings for your imaginosphere, and a 2-point bonus round at the end where you simply have to read my mind. It's a maximum of 20 points overall. All you're going to need for this quiz, something to write with, something to write on, a brain for thinking, and an imaginosphere for imagining. Optional is a beverage, because whilst it's got absolutely nothing to do with the actual quiz, we do like to kick things off with a toast. We crowdfund our toasts around here. Just makes it a little bit more democratic. We enjoy that sensation. Today's toast is courtesy of Instagram user Tiff B. Douglas, who was yesterday the only person to submit a toast subject possibility. And therefore, you know, it's by default, but I don't want that to take away from the loveliness of this toast, because I think it's quite a nice one. Here we go. Let's charge our glasses. To watching a team that wins, parentheses, CPFC. Yesterday, in the final of the English Football Association Cup, or FA Cup, the mighty Eagles of Crystal Palace Football Club triumphed over the Blues of Manchester City. What's the big whoop, I hear you cry? Well, this was the first major trophy won by Crystal Palace since their inception, which means that if you were an OG Palace fan right from the start, you'd have been supporting through 119 years of disappointment to reach yesterday's triumph. They say that delayed gratification is the most powerful gratification, and if that's true, then I can only assume that any and all OG fans literally exploded with joy yesterday, both because of the power of the victory and the fact that they'd be well over 100 years old and their bodies would be as fragile as tissue paper. To delayed gratification, to death by joygasm, to Crystal Palace. Cheers. Let's double dip for that first one. Lovely, lovely, tremendous, and lovely. Hello, Smarties. How are we doing? Hello, SJ Beck 72. Lovely to see you. Happy Sunday to you. I hope we are going to have a quiztastic time. I hope that's an adjective that we will all be using by the end of this episode. Hello, Monkey Pixie Funk. Hello to you. A svelte viewing figures today. Oh, we've got 6 now. Okay. People are trickling in. That's good. Our high point scorer from last round, from last week, as we can see coming through, it was, of course it was. It was definitely not Duda. It's always definitely not Duda. But it seems as though, unless you can come through triumphantly, definitely, that you are not watching at this point. Let us pause for a second to see if definitely features in the chat. That's a no, which means that I've got to pick 3 rounds, guys, because I don't know what rounds we're going to... This quiz is a mystery to me. What's coming up, aside from the minute to win it, is an absolute mystery to me. That's one of the things that makes this quiz so exciting. So without further ado, I think it's probably only right and fair and just if I pick some rounds. Is that okay with everybody? Is that okay? Let's give it a try. Let's do it. Let's get some rounds. Here we go. We've got a red herring, we've got a who dat artiste, and we've got a spotlight. That may be all we need. That may be all we need in this crazy, crazy life. So let's try and work out an order. Let's try and work out an order. Spotlight. Yeah, that's quite good. That's quite good. Maybe we'll kick off with that. Then we'll move on to, what was it, red herring. Yeah, that's quite nice as well. So who dat artiste. Oh, okay. So maybe we'll just do it like that. Maybe we'll just do it like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So let's get these in order. Gosh, there's so many rounds here, guys. There's so many flipping rounds that it does make things a little bit tricky sometimes in terms of organizational senses. Just talk amongst yourselves if you wish. That's fine. Red herring. Lovely, lovely. And then spotlight. Artiste spotlight. Yes. Yes. Is that? That's that. And that's that. Okay, we're ready, guys. We're ready. Noise, says Monkey Pixie Funk. And I actually said I will second that with a lovely noise. Should we get on with the quiz, guys? Should we get on with the quiz? Right, I need to turn off the picking the rounds thing, don't I? Because otherwise that's going to kick back in. Let's get quizzing. Artiste spotlight. It's probably your favourite round. I mean, it could be. It could be. That's all I'll say. Game recognizes game. As an artiste, you have to be willing to shine a light on the work of other artists and be nice about it. Yeah? That way, if they want to be polite, they have to say nice stuff about your art. But before we look at who the spotlight falls on this quiz, we of course have to take a trip to see your favourite of mine, the artiste who puts all other artists to shame. It is, of course, the wonderful Lucy Liu. How are you, Lucy? Are you doing well? Are you doing well? Lovely. Yep. Yeah. Lucy was in Red One, weren't you? You were the head of that that organisation that kind of shaped. It was like the CIA, but for like traditional folkloric creatures that they clearly wanted to spin out into a larger universe. But it didn't do very well, did it? People just didn't like it. I thought it was great. And I'm sure if you saw Red One, you would think that it was a great film as well. But and obviously you were great in it, Lucy. Yeah, I mean that. I do mean that. Yeah. What's you'd like to cheer yourself up from how much money Red One lost, would you? Okay, how'd you like to do that, Lucy? You want to tell a joke? Okay. Monkey Pixie Funk there. Red One is an exceptional film. What do you say about that? Thank you very much, Monkey Pixie Funk. That's nice from Lucy. That's nice. Is Monkey Pixie Funk a very discerning viewer? I'd say Monkey Pixie Funk tends to be quite positive about things, but that certainly doesn't mean that they're not a discerning viewer, Lucy. Let's not let beggars be choosers, shall we, Lucy? Okay, come on, give us your joke. Cheer yourself up with a joke, and I hope that it's not too dirty. Lucy says, did you hear about the constipated accountant? No, Lucy, I didn't hear about the constipated accountant. He couldn't budget. I mean, you haven't used any rude words there, Lucy. And I suppose the absence of poop in this instance is progress. You know, that is progress. So in the general history of your jokes, Lucy, that's a good one. I think we'd all agree that that's a good joke. So thank you very much, Lucy. And Steven Soderbergh's new Ghost film. Yeah, I think that looks very good, and I want to see that as well. It already came out. Well, if it comes out on 6 screens, what am I supposed to... It's fine. It's fine. Thank you so much, Lucy, and we'll see you next time. Everybody say bye, Lucy. Everybody say bye, Lucy. Lovely. Good one, Lucy, says SJBeck72. Lucy, she's gone. It's fine. Maple Panda, sorry we are late. Revising GCSE chemistry. Quite a lot of chemistry there between Lucy and I think you'll agree. But glad you're here. You haven't missed any questions because, of course, the Spotlight round does often have quite a long intro. But who does the Spotlight fall on this week? It's not Lucy Liu. It's in many ways the opposite of Lucy Liu. That's right, Bono. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions about Bono. And you just need to prove to me, through your knowledge, whether you're a fan or not. Or something. Maybe that. Who knows? 5 questions about Bono. Here we go. Question number 1. What eye condition does Bono suffer from, forcing him to wear sunglasses all the time? Question number 1. What eye condition does Bono suffer from, forcing him to wear sunglasses all the time? What do you think? Question number 2. Bono features on 2 versions of Do They Think It's Christmas, singing the same 9-word line. Give me 5 of those words. There's 2 versions, well, there's at least 2 versions of Do They Think It's Christmas. Do they know it's Christmas? Do they think it's Christmas? Do they know? Do they know it's Christmas? Do they know it's Christmas? Yeah, I don't know. That's poor wordsmanship. Apologies. There we go. Do they know it's Christmas? He sings the same 9-word line on 2 of those different versions. I just needed to give me 5 of the words that he sings. And then we'll just call it a day there. Question number 3. Name any U2 album, and this is excluding greatest hits, I will say. This is excluding greatest hits, so you cannot simply say the best of U2. Question number 4. Bono developed stage personae in the 90s because he was too angry in the 80s, just to try and lighten up his stage presence. These included Arse, The Fly, Mirrorball Man, and Apologies. I do apologise for that. That's not nice. Silent, please. Arse, The Fly, Mirrorball Man, and Macfisto. But which one of those 4 did I just make up? Bono developed stage personae in the 90s because he was too angry in the 80s. These included Arse, The Fly, Mirrorball Man, and Macfisto. But which of those 4 did I just make up? And question number 5. What's Bono's real name? I'll accept first or last. Give me either of his actual names, and you'll get a point. I will say neither of them are Bono. This isn't a Shakira type situation. One of the many ways in which Bono and Shakira are very much separate people. And that, if you count them all up, is 5 questions. Is that the end of the round? No, because we need a musing as well. We've tested the brain. We need to test the imaginosphere also. And what is that musing? Bono's mate and U2's lead guitarist is called David Evans, but he is known professionally as The Edge, which is a lot cooler. What would your stage name be if it had to be prefaced with the? Now, this is obviously something that is very dear to my heart because one of my sons has a name prefaced with the. He is the Scamp. Let's get a musing countdown going. Oh gosh, we haven't done a spotlight in a long time, have we? So my son, the Scamp, is obviously a the person, and so I'm aware firsthand, or I suppose secondhand, of just how powerful a naming convention that can be. I understand entirely why David Evans chose to call himself the something. The Edge, pretty cool. But what's your one? What would you be called? The what? And we'll leave that musing up as we've learned, and we head back to main. That's round one done already, if you can believe it. Absolutely rolling through it. And I hope you're all having as good a time as I am. It's getting quite warm here in New Jersey. Spring has been, unfortunately, trampled all over, just kind of leapt over, like one might do a hurdle or a low stone wall if you're looking to impress somebody who you've got a crush on. It's unfortunate, though, because it is quite warm. And obviously I've got another medical trial coming up next week, which will keep me out of action for a couple of weeks. So, I'm hoping that we're doing something. I'm studying something to do with cryogenics, so I can be kept a little bit cooler than it is out here. No, I know. I need to earn the money. Monkey Pigsy Funk, you know. Money's too tight to mention. Oh, money. To quote Mick Hucknall. And so I need a little bit of scratch. And this is, I think, by far and away the best way for me to make money at the moment. One day, hopefully, people will just pay me for my art, as my 7 subscribers do. And if that's you, I want to say a big thank you to you. But until that 7 becomes, I want to say 700, I think I am going to need outside sources of income. And at the moment, nobody wants to hire me other than the medical trials who just want me for my body. Get in line, just like the ladies. I've got a girlfriend. She's AI. Let's get on with another round. Red herring, baby. Oh, we've got an ad starting soon. Okay. Apologies if that's you. But red herring's, I think, quite a good one to miss, because the answers stay up there, don't they? The answers stay up there. Sometimes, guys, when creating, it's best to start at the end and work backwards. When writing The Matrix, they knew that they wanted to end with a man who is so powerful he can make the walls go all wibbly. So now the task is to write a series of events to precede that to make it make absolute sense, i.e. there are no walls and it is only the powerful man who goes wibbly. Makes sense. In this round, we start with the answers and then I'll give you the questions. But which question goes with which answer? Let's find out as we play Red Herring. Oh, we need a thing in here as well, don't we? Why is that? I literally went on Streamlabs before the stream started and I turned CloudBot on. So that's really annoying that didn't work. That's really annoying. Most weeks I forget about it. But this one I didn't and it still went wrong. That's aggravating. Okay. We need a topic for this round of Red Herring. And the topic is very simply original Marvel movie Avengers. Now, those of you who are devotees of the Marvel Cinematic Universe will know that back in 2012's The Avengers, their team was made up of 6 superheroes. Since then, there's about 1 million, I think. But in the 2012 film, there were 6 superheroes. The 6 biggies, I think. So let's get who those heroes are. And there'll be a question about all of them, except for one. So we've got Hulk, we've got Thor, we've got Captain America, we've got Black Widow, we've got Hawkeye, and we've got Iron Man. These are the six. Oh dear, not my scene, says Maple Panda. Apologies, but I'm giving you the answers, so you've got a bit more of a chance. Interesting information here from Monkey Pixie Funk. Final Destination Bloodlines looks terrifying, and Samsung Health. Good on them if they can do well with combating the radiation that mobile phones, like Samsung mobile phones, put into our bodies. Then they'll be doing a great job. That's the greatest business model of all. Creating a problem and then solving that problem, because then you're covering all sides of it. That's very clever from Samsung. Well done them. Let's go. We'll go through the questions quite quickly, and then we'll go through them again with a little bit more time on them. So here's question 1, and the answer is definitely one of these. Which movie Avenger has been the lead in most self-titled films? What do we think? Which movie Avenger has been the lead in most self-titled films? Question number 2. Which movie Avenger sacrificed their life to attain one of the Infinity Stones? That's a question. Getting a little bit deeper into the lore here of the films. Let's see what the answer is. It's one of these, I'll tell you that. Which movie Avenger became, for some years, a gladiatorial champion on an alien world? Ooh, how very exciting. A gladiatorial champion. Number 4. Which movie Avenger has since starred in their own Disney Plus series? Because, of course, the movies weren't enough. They needed to take over TV as well. And so they've been making their TV shows. And one of these has since starred in their own Disney Plus series. One of the original Marvel movie Avengers from 2012. I'm confident of being the highest scorer on this round, says Monkey Pixie Funk. I believe in you, pal. And the final question. Which movie Avenger has an Oscar-nominated song written about them? Which movie Avenger has an Oscar-nominated song written about them? Go through those questions just very, very quickly. Very, very quickly again. Very, very quickly. Which movie Avenger has been the lead in the most self-titled films? Eponymously titled, I could have said. I do enjoy the word eponymous. Oh, I didn't put the rounds in. I always forget to put the rounds in. What was the first one? What was the first round we played? Gosh, isn't that terrible? Spotlight, of course it was. Spotlight, beautiful. Lovely. Which movie Avenger sacrificed their life to attain one of the Infinity Stones? Which movie Avenger became, for some years... Oh, they all just move. That's terrible. Became for some years a gladiatorial champion on an alien world. If it's not Black Widow, and it's not Captain America, and it's not Hawkeye, and it's not Hulk, and it's not Iron Man, then it has to be Thor. That's how these things work. Which movie Avenger has since starred in their own Disney Plus series? And which movie Avenger has an Oscar-nominated song written about them? 1 point for each of those that you got right. One of these is not an answer to one of the questions. That's what makes a red herring. That's what keeps it spicy. So we say goodbye to our answers here. Goodbye. And we get on with our musing, which is very simply, what's a superpower that might get you an interview for the Avengers but wouldn't get you the job? That question again, that musing again. What's a superpower that might get you an interview for the Avengers but wouldn't quite get you the job? Let's get a musing countdown. Yeah, we haven't done this in a while either. We're getting around them all eventually, though. All about the superheroes. They run the world these days. Run the world. Every other film is somebody wearing some kind of tight-fitting costume and running around, pointing at things, and then trusting that a very talented CG department will make it good afterwards. Wonderful films. Wonderful, wonderful films. Long may they continue. Let's go back to Maine. So Monkey Pixie Funk, feeling pretty confident about that one. I like to see a little bit of confidence in my quizzes. I like to see that confidence. And I hope that continues into our final round. Who Dat Artiste? Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. If you see a famous person at a showbiz party, you need to know who they are, simply put. If you say, hey, Joel Cohen, I think your films are all excellent, and he replies with, no, I'm the other one. Frances McDormand, you're going to feel like a fool. So I'm going to show you some celebs, and you just need to tell me who they are. But in some funny, funny way, that job has been made slightly trickier. Just a whodad, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. And what's the topic this round of Who Dat Artiste? What makes it trickier? Buried under prosthetics. So I'm going to show you 5 photos. It's a picture round. We all like picture rounds, don't we? I'm going to show you 5 pictures of notable Hollywood actors in movie roles where they are buried under prosthetics. You just need to look past all of this fabulous visual effects work and tell me who is that beautiful actor underneath. Have I given you any help with this? I've probably given you some help as well with this, but I wrote the questions quite a while ago, so I'm not sure what that might be. Here we go. Oh, look at this. So I've given you the character that they're playing and the movie that they were in when they were under all of these prosthetics. So Winston Churchill in The Darkest Hour. This is the person. Who is that? Who is that? Which Hollywood actor is that? Buried under prosthetics. Number 2. Dick Cheney in Vice. Who is that? Who is that? They don't look like that in real life, I'll tell you that. You've got to look into the eyes. Got to look into the eyes. You've got to see the soul of these actors. Dick Cheney in Vice. Who's buried under those prosthetics? Number 3. Eileen Wuornos from Monster. Real life serial killer. Eileen Wuornos. Somebody's buried under some prosthetics there, but who are they? Who are they? Who dat artiste? I mean, that's literally the whole point of the quiz. Actor number 4. Oz Cobb in The Penguin. Okay, so fair enough. I said movie actors before. This is from a TV show. The TV show called The Penguin. But that's an actor buried under makeup. Buried under prosthetics. Who dat? Who dat? And then the final artiste. Gutless in Hook. Who is buried under these prosthetics playing Gutless in Hook? One of the pirates who goes into the boo-boo box with, I believe, some scorpions or something. There we go. If you need to see any of those again, please do let me know while you do that. We're going to get on with the musing, in which this round is very simply, if you were in a makeup chair for 5 hours every single day, as some of these actors have been, how would you keep yourself sane? How would you keep yourself sane? Lots of different techniques. It's very interesting stories that Jim Carrey tells from when he was in when he was in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and he obviously head to toe, and he was in makeup chair for, I think 5 hours is a good day for him, and so he got some training from people who were trained to withstand torture, because he was under the assumption that it would be so unpleasant for him, and they were always talking about distracting yourself and changing your situation, and so he would smoke a lot, punch himself in the leg a lot, get up, just walk around when he thought he was going insane. So these kinds of things, but I'm sure you guys are going to be able to come up with an even more creative way of keeping yourself sane from sitting in a chair for 5 hours. I'm excited to hear what you say. I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are as we go back to main. Guys, those are all the questions. How exciting. And how svelte as well. We've only been going for, 35 minutes really, in terms of the actual quiz. How thrilling. Get us. I'm so proud. So proud. How is everybody doing? How's everybody enjoying things? Doing great? Having fun? I don't have any... we could do a positivity song, couldn't we? Positivity party. Like I said, it was only TB who... hello, JLPV20. Hello to you. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much. It was only TB Douglas who responded to my Instagram call for things that make people happy, which is either people didn't see it, or is that the case? No, 13 people saw it. 13 people saw it, and 12 of those people just said, no, nothing's making me happy. But luckily TB came through with a few different options, which I'm very pleased with and very thankful for. So let's have a little positivity party, shall we? Is that okay? Is that okay if we have a little positivity party? I'm sure it is. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. These are the things that are making my... Smarties happy Sunday the 18th of May. Sausage rolls baked at home. Oh my goodness, making me hungry. Finding the perfect parking spot. So often parking can be a challenge, so when it's not, it feels good, doesn't it? Feels good. Traveling to foreign lands. Everybody enjoys that. Broadens the mind, broadens the spirit, doesn't it? And dogs with kerchiefs. My goodness. Thank you for your positivity, specifically to TB Douglas and to nobody else. What a lovely little positivity party that was. If there are any other positive things that people want to pop into the chat, I'm never in a bad mood. I'm never against seeing them. So please do that. Let's get on with some answers, though, shall we? Let's get on with some answers. Let's try and get out of here within an hour, shall we? Let's get cracking. Artiste Spotlight. Bono's mate and U2's lead guitarist is called David Evans. A very Welsh name. But he is known professionally as The Edge, which is a lot cooler. What would your stage name be if it had to be prefaced with the? But guys, don't tell me out. Don't just shout it out. Don't just shout it out wherever you're watching this. On the subway or in a bookies or something. Please do get it in the chat. Yeah? Please do get it in the chat. I'd really appreciate that. Lord knows I would. Let's get on with things, shall we? Yes, please. Let's get the musing off. Let's get on with these questions. Question number 1. What eye condition does Bono suffer from, forcing him to wear sunglasses all the time. What do we think? The answer, very simply, it's glaucoma. It's glaucoma, which is an unpleasant disease, but a pretty sick way to deal with having a disease, you know. Eczema's not that cool. Eczema's just creams and salves, but if you cured eczema by wearing sunglasses, I mean, people would be more psyched about having eczema. So glaucoma, not that great, but just getting to wear sunglasses all the time makes you look pretty cool, as Bono is proof of. Question number 2. Bono features on 2 versions of Do They Know It's Christmas, singing the same 9-word line. Give me 5 of those words. Because if I just ask for one word, you might be able to just guess it. Just wang in an A, or an I, or an an, or a the. I didn't want that. I wanted you to have a little bit more cut and thrust to it. What is that line? The line is very simply, well, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you, which has to be read with a certain level of detachment and irony. Because if you think he's earnestly saying that, then that's not really the spirit that you would expect somebody to come into a charity money-raising single with. Thank God it's them instead of you, eh? Whew. It would be rubbish if it was you, because you are English. No, he's making a point. You got to think about what he means, not necessarily what he says. I hope. Number 3. Name any U2 album. Very simple. Very, very simple. This is excluding any greatest hits. No greatest hits here. This has to be a studio album from U2. Any of them. Any of them. All Apple iPhones were loaded with one of them. Can you remember what that is? I can't, but luckily they're all written down here. You could have gone with... Oh, gosh, that's not really worked, has it? What a small font we've got to go with. You could have gone with Boy, October, War, The Unforgettable Fire, The Joshua Tree. That's a very famous one. I think a few of you might have written that down. Rattle and Hum, Achtung Baby. That's another famous one. What is that? Zooropa, Pop, All That You Can't Leave Behind. That was kind of a comeback one for them. So that's quite famous as well. And also How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb from 2004. And we've got No Line on the Horizon, Songs of Innocence, Songs of Experience, and Songs of Surrender. Well done if you got any of those. Because album titles can be quite tricky, especially these days. Question number 4. Bono developed stage personae, which is the plural of persona, in the 90s because he was too angry in the 80s. These included Arse, The Fly, Mirrorball Man, and Macfisto. But which one of those 4 did I just make up? Is it Arse? Is it The Fly? Is it Mirrorball Man? Or is it Macfisto? At worst, you've got a 25% chance of getting this right. The answer, Arse. Oh, this has been done terribly. Let's pop that there. Arse. But in fact, arse is a word that features in Bono's line in his appearance on The Simpsons when Homer sings the song The Garbage Man Can. And Bono sings the line, and tell you when your arse is showing. So it's a little bit of a reference to that, I suppose, me choosing that as one of the options there. But yeah, The Fly, Mirrorball Man, and Macfisto are all characters, stage personae, that Bono developed in the 90s. Doesn't that sound exciting? And the final question, maybe the most simple, maybe the most tricky. What's Bono's real name? I'll accept first or last. Give me one of those names and I'll give you a point. His name is, rather sadly, I think it's often when people have a stage name and you find out what their real name is, it can often be a little bit of a letdown. See, of course, Vin Diesel / Mark Sinclair. But for Bono, it is Paul Hewson. Paul Hewson. You may have got a slight clue from the fact that his daughter is now a successful actress, and her name is Eve Hewson. She is a lovely-looking woman, my goodness. It just really makes you imagine if she's as attractive as she is, and her father is Bono, how attractive must her mother be? Lovely, lovely stuff. 1 point for each of those that you got right. Well done if you got some of those. Some of them are pretty tricky, I think. Let's get on with this musing. Bono's mate and U2's lead guitarist is called David Evans. David Evans. But he is known professionally as The Edge, which is a lot cooler. What would your stage name be if it had to be prefaced with the? Wowzers. Wowzers. SJ Beck 72 going with the Conquistador. A word as evocative as it is pleasant to say. The Conquistador. I mean, I don't want to butcher this, so I'm gonna go for an official definition of this. A term used to describe the Spanish and Portuguese military adventurers who led conquest of large parts of the Americas during the 16th century. Potentially, you're asking to be called this SJPX 72 because you enjoy the process of colonizing. You enjoy the process of going into somebody's country, somebody's workplace, somebody's home, and just kind of taking control of certain things, which is, fine. I think if you are definitely going to do things better than the people that you're colonizing, who could argue with that? Obviously, the difficulty comes in defining what's good and what's not. Do you know what I mean? But a conquistador, if you don't think about it too much in terms of the origins of the word, and you just think this is a cool word with a Q in it that would do absolute gangbusters in a game of Scrabble, then that is good enough for me. SJBX 72, aka the Conquistador. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Fabulous stuff. Enjoy that a lot. The quiff from Monkey Pixie Funk, the quiff, because I have a stupendous quiff. This is a quiff that we've heard a couple of times about from Monkey Pixie Funk, which tells us that it is a fantastic quiff, or that it is just an average quiff that Monkey Pixie Funk is very proud of. Either way, I love it. That defies gravity and the laws of GCSE physics. A lot of GCSE science references going on today. Interesting stuff. The quiff, because you have a stupendous quiff. And sometimes you can go for a clever nickname. Little John is actually a very large chap. Vin Diesel, runs on unleaded. But sometimes it's good to go route one. Smack you in the face. It's a great quiff. It's the quiff. Done. Then it's a help when people don't have to remember who you are. Do you know what I mean? You say, the quiff's coming to stay. Say, okay, I don't quite remember what his actual name is, but I remember that he's the quiff. Okay, we'll get some gel in. Yeah, we'll get some gel in so that he's not lacking in gel. That's nice. I like it. Defies gravity and the laws of GCSE physics. Good luck to you. I hope your quiff maintains. You could call it the tray, the airline tray, because it stays locked in that upright position. Oops, it's hard to answer a Christmas question in May. Yeah, tricky. Brain's not quite firing on those Christmas lyrics. That's absolutely fine. Monkey Pixie Funk is such a swat. Oh, the first album. Yeah, that is a bit swattish, isn't it? I mean, it's difficult to be angry with them, but all the way from back in 1980. What wonderful days they were. Fabulous stuff. No, just for a fun name. It is a fun name. You get that cue working. It's lovely stuff. Oh, 8 viewers. Hello, guys. So for Monkey Pixie Funk and for SJBeck 72, that's an extra point. Well done, you guys. Well done, you. For everybody else who didn't write anything down, you don't get the bonus point. That's how the musing works. Let's go on with red herring. Guys, what's the superpower that might get you an interview for the Avengers but wouldn't get you the full job? What's a kind of B tier Avengers superpower? What do you think? What do you think? Get it in the chat, please. And we will go through them after we've been through these questions. So as a reminder, the answers here are Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and Iron Man. These are the answers. So let's go through here again. Oh no, I should keep them up. Question number 1. Which movie Avenger has been the lead in the most self-titled films? There have been 3 Iron Man films. I'll tell you that right now. There have been 3 Captain America films. Technically, there was a 4th Captain America solo film that was released just earlier this year, but it wasn't the same Captain America. Isn't it fun when it all gets this complicated? So in fact, the only one who has been in 4, the only character that has been in 4 self-titled films as the same character is the wonderful Thor, played by the wonderful Christopher Hemsworth. He is the size of a god and seems like a lovely chap on top. Good for him. Good for him. Which movie Avenger sacrificed their life to attain one of the Infinity Stones? Who loves to sacrifice? It is the Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. She just said, hey, this will give me a wonderful, wonderful scene at the cost of not being able to appear in any of the other ones moving forward. But then, of course, she did. She just said, nah, this one can just be in the past. It's all fun and games when you're having to go back into the timeline is like spaghetti flippin' junction. It really is very exciting to have to do all that homework. Question number 3, which movie Avenger became, for some years, a gladiatorial champion on an alien world? Well, the pedants among you might say that, well, Thor did become a gladiatorial champion on an alien world, but that's why the for some years becomes very, very important there, because that means the answer cannot be Thor, because he only did it for a very short time. Instead becomes Hulk, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. And in that film, he got big green winky out, and it was very distracting for Thor, which says a lot, I think, when you consider, what he may well be packing, the hammer. Question number 4. Which movie Avenger has since starred in their own Disney Plus series? Is it Captain America, was it Hawkeye, or was it Iron Man? The answer for that, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, because of course they wouldn't afford to pay Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. the amount that they would need to be in a full TV show. They can barely pay them to be in the films these days. So Jeremy Renner, as he has been his entire career, just like a big star, but slightly cheaper. So he's in Jason Bourne, Mission Impossible, 28 Weeks Later, etc. Good lad, good lad. Got run over recently, but it seems to be doing a lot better now, which I'm very pleased about. And the final question, we've only got 2 more options here, Captain America or Iron Man. Which movie Avenger has an Oscar-nominated song written about them? It's one of them. It is, of course, Captain America, entitled The Star-Spangled Man. The Star-Spangled Man. It's a wonderful song and a wonderful film. They all are. Which means the red herring was Iron Man. Both a wonderful film and a wonderful song by those chaps at Black Sabbath. So well done. 1 point for each of those that you got correct. Monkey Pixie Funk wandered into that with a huge amount of confidence. I'd be very interested to hear how they did and whether they were, in fact, the highest point scorer for that particular round. While we get on with this musing, what's a superpower that might get you an interview for the Avengers but wouldn't get you the job? That question again. What's a superpower that might get you an interview for the Avengers but wouldn't get you a job? As we go to the comments here, let's have a look. It's Maple Panda. Superpower of being able to spell and use grammar more or less correctly without using AI or Chat GPT. A dying skill, ellipsis. Couldn't agree with you more there, Maple Panda. Could not agree with you more. A lot of people dropping the odd word here and there, dropping the old spelling, grammar kind of shifting a little bit under our feet like sands on a beach. So being able to, tackle that without having to resort to a spell check. That puts you over and above. But in a battle situation, spelling and punctuation and grammar, being a little bit pedantic in only the best way is not really going to help you tackle an alien threat. So I can absolutely understand. You would get that interview, you'd get in front of somebody, even if it was just so they could say, we see what you're doing and we really support it. So just keep it up. Yeah, there, and there. You're killing it. Well done. But we're not going to give you a suit and we're not going to send you back in time to tackle this time-based villain that we're going up against. But a lovely idea, Maple Panda. Thank you. JRPV20, let's see. My superpower, unloading a dishwasher in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Wowzers. Does it depend on you having stacked the dishwasher beforehand? Because I know cameraman George can sometimes get a little bit annoyed with me with how I tend to stack a dishwasher. I'm a creative guy, you know? I'm a creative guy. If I want to put a mug on the bottom, if I want to put a plate on the top, I'm going to do that, yeah? And if you're asking whether I'm going to open it all the way to put stuff at the back or whether I'm just going to front load it, I think you know the answer to that question. So your ability to speedily whip everything out of a dishwasher is absolutely going to make you very an important cog in the Avengers machine. And you make a very good point here. Could be handy at the Avengers Tower. Very handy indeed. So you've taken it a step further. You're not getting on the team. You're not getting their special tattoo or whatever it is that the Avengers do. But you're brought on board. You're in Avengers Tower. Maybe you're on the catering team. And it's like, oh, Hulk's coming. Let's make sure we buy a lot of eggs. Got to get a lot of eggs in because he needs his protein. He's 8 foot tall and he's full of green rage. It's, obviously the smell is not ideal, but who's going to tell him? The Hulk with his big smelly egg farts. Monkey Pixie Funk, my superpower would be exaggerating. Wonderful stuff. It would get me an interview, but I would not get the gig because they would find out I could not really destroy all foes with a single lethal dance move. ... Or could I? That's an example of some of that exaggeration. But then what excites me about this idea, MPF, is that it's exaggeration, it's not lying. So if you're saying that you could destroy all foes with a single lethal dance move, that's saying there's some kernel of truth to that. So maybe you could destroy some foes with a single lethal dance move. Maybe you could destroy all foes with a 20-minute sequence of lethal dance moves. Maybe you could simply injure many foes with your wildest, your most avant-garde and uninhibited dance moves. Once you get those tap shoes on or those kind of soft kind of ballet-like shoes for modern jazz, then that puts the frighteners in the opposition, in those bad guys. Maybe they're trying to rob a bank Maybe they're trying to knock over like a Securicor van that's carrying wads of cash. And then you stop, they're smashing it in, they're trying to cut into it with some kind of fancy lasers, what these supervillains are like. But then they see Monkey Pixie Funk stood in the middle of the street in front of that Securicor van. He's wearing his purple lame trousers. He's wearing his risque gold shirt unbuttoned to the navel. And he has got a Cuban heel on his shoes that can, and by God will, take somebody's eye out. He is the quiff. He's dancing his way into your heart, and then he's showing it to you as you die. Wowzers. I mean, it's quite violent. It got quite violent towards the end there. I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but there's something lethal there. There's something dangerous there. And also because it's dance, there's something quite attractive there. These foes are going to be destroyed, some of them, because you've exaggerated. But they're going to die with a smile on their face and feeling like their soul has been topped up, in the same way that you often do when you watch professional dance performances. And then SJBEC72, superhuman ability to assess immediate effects of draconian US trade tariffs worldwide. I mean, you might get the job with that. You might get the job with that, SJBEC72, because from what I have seen on the news, and I do try to avoid the news because it's always bad, nobody knows what the effects of these tariffs are going to be. A lot of people saying bad, but they're not sure quite how bad. So I think that works out. That's nice. Points all round, guys. Points all round. A bit like Danny Zuko. Oh, Danny Zuko, yeah. He's basically the Danny Zuko of superheroes. Yeah. Super Zuko hero. He's a Danny Zuko hero, really. Final round, guys. Final round. Oh, you need to get rid of the musing countdown. If you're in the makeup chair for 5 hours every day, how in the heck would you keep yourself sane? What are you doing? What are you doing to keep yourself sane in that makeup chair, guys? What's your plan? What's your plan? Tell me about your plan. As we go through the answers to these questions. Number 1. This is an artiste that is buried under prosthetics. It's an actor who played Winston Churchill in the movie The Darkest Hour. Who is that? Underneath all of that blubber. And I say blubber not pejoratively towards the larger people, as Winston Churchill was, but more, I feel like when you take all those prosthetics off, it would look like blubber. It is, of course, Mr. Gary Oldman. Mr. Gary Oldman. He's a chameleon. But normally even he's not quite that good. He needed a lot of help from, I believe, an Oscar-winning team. Number 2, Dick Cheney in Vice. Dick Cheney in Vice. This is an actor who doesn't quite look like this. A lot of prosthetics going on here. Who is that actor? It is, again, another chameleon. It's Christian Bale. Christian Bale underneath all of that, if you can believe such a thing. Oh my goodness. Not only would he be looking very different, he'd be sounding very different in that true Christian Bale way where you're never quite sure what his actual accent is. Because even in interviews, it kind of just wanders across the Atlantic, dipping in, weaving out. He has turned himself into silly putty to mould himself into all of these fabulous roles. But that has done a number on his natural accent. He's a Welshman. Number 3, who is this artiste? They're buried under prosthetics. They played Eileen Wuornos in Monster. Eileen Wuornos in Monster. Not a particularly pleasant character to play. They played them very well. Again, Oscar winning. It is the quite beautiful Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron underneath all of that. Incredible. South African. Not that they're, not that would impact her ability to wear all of that prosthetic makeup, but it's just an extra bit of information for you. A lot of people forget because, again, she doesn't have the accent. Question number 4. Oz Cobb in The Penguin. Oz Cobb in The Penguin. Who is it underneath all of that? I would say look at the eyes, but the eyes are quite piggy and squinty there. You're not going to get much joy from that approach. Colin Farrell. Can you believe that? It's Colin Farrell underneath all of that. Makers of that TV show said, we need someone who's a little bit overweight, a little bit balding, and all of the overweight balding actors of the world said, oh, here we go. It's our time to shine, baby. And they said no. In fact, what we're going to do is we're just going to take one of our attractive actors and we're going to put him in some prosthetics. It's a creative choice, and I commend them for doing it. And the final one, Gutless in Hook. Who dat artiste? Who is that buried under all of those prosthetics and the big bushy beard? Who could that be? Who's that guy? Sorry, guy? No. It's Glenn Close. It's Glenn Close playing Gutless in Hook, going into the boo-boo box. Fabulous stuff. She's a chameleon. Even though, if you'd never heard of her, and you saw that face, and you heard that they were played by Glenn, you'd say, yeah, story checks out. Because again, and this is something that I think can be quite shocking to some people, Glenn Close's name is Glenn Close. Go figure. Well done if you got any of those right. Some of them pretty tricky. As we go on for this musing, if you were in the makeup chair for 5 hours every single day, how would you keep yourself sane? Let's have a look at these. Oh, we've only got one. JRPV20, I would learn to knit. Oh, wonderful. Knit one pearl, one plain one. Always wanted to, and I could make little jumpers for the makeup artist's children or pets. Give something back. That speaks to your character there, JRPV20. These are the unsung heroes of the world. These makeup artists always do a fabulous job. Everyone's always looking great. Everyone's always looking fabulous. But they don't get the Hollywood treatment. They don't get to go on Jimmy Fallon. They don't get to, who are you wearing at makeup artist, who are you wearing at this awards ceremony? I'm wearing Old Navy. It's all I can afford. So JRPV20 says, no, I'm going to give them back a little something. Yeah? I'm going to knit something. For the makeup artist? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I'm going to make them smaller. I'm going to make little jumpers. That's really my forte here. I'm not going to make regular size jumpers that adults can wear. I'm only interested in the little jumpers, little teeny jumpers. Okay? I'll call them jumpies. These can be good for children. These can be good for pets. These could be good for gnomes or garden ornaments that you're particularly fond of. These could be good for a very large Nebuchadnezzar-style bottle of wine that you're looking to keep cool. These could be good for protecting a piece of electronics if you're traveling. If you're going on holiday and you want to take your PlayStation 5, pop it in a jumper. Pop it in a JRPV20 jumper. You're giving a little back. And I like that a lot. Well done, JRPV20. Lovely stuff. SJBX72, in my head, I'd be playing the alphabet game with numerous categories. Lovely stuff. So SJBX72 very much treating it like a long car journey. And you're saying, do you know what? We're going to play the alphabet game. I'm going to say, right, okay, let's look at what's around me. Oh, there's a piece of fruit here that one of the makeup people is eating. Let's go fruit. Let's go apple. Let's go banana. Let's go clementine. Let's go a fruit that begins with D. I'm not here to, I don't have 5 hours. You'd have 5 hours to think of it. I don't have 5 hours to think of it. So it makes sense that you do better than me. But that's nice. I like that a lot. And there's, any number of the alphabet game of fruit, the alphabet game of hairstyles, depending on what hairstyles the hair and makeup ladies are sporting. If one of them has a mole on their face, say, you could do the alphabet game for different types of dermatological complaints or skin lesions. If one of them was wearing a particularly unfashionable or unflattering pair of clogs, you could do the alphabet game of footwear. Lots of options. It's good. Maple Panda, it's got to be podcasts, surely. It's simply got to be podcasts, says Maple Panda. Although you'd have to keep swapping so as to not get irritated by the same ads. Oh, those podcast ads. Oh, my goodness, those podcast ads. And what they do, because I like ads, they're art, and therefore they are good. But what adverts show is that even the very, very best pieces of art can get annoying if you are forced to consume them multiple times over the course of an hour. You could watch the greatest film in the world, your favorite film in the world. But if you're watching it 4 times in a 24-hour period, that 4th one is going to be a little bit annoying. It's going to be a little bit annoying. And you're going to say, Al Pacino, at 9 a.m. this morning, I thought your performance in Scent of a Woman was absolutely spectacular. And I said, do you know what? Kudos to the Academy for giving him the Oscar. But this is the 4th time that I've watched Scent of a Woman today. And now I think you look ridiculous. You look absolutely ridiculous. You're a seeing man. Make believe that he's a blind man. It's offensive to me. It's ridiculous to me. And Chris O'Donnell is a terrible actor. You'd be talking nonsense. You'd be talking nonsense by the 4th time. What were we talking about? Podcasts. Great choice. And Monkey Pixie Funk, I would scat, harnessing the power of purest deep jazz and channeling the greats, i.e. Shibby Taylor and Cab Calloway. As a result, the makeup artist could hurry through the makeup in record time, or would they get distracted? It depends how good you are at scatting. If you're a scat master, MPF, then they could get distracted. If you're scatting the works of Cab Calloway, Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby, the way I'm thinking lately makes me down. They're gonna be dancing. Oh my goodness, it's like The Mask when he takes over his cube and Pete. Oh, is you is or is you ain't my baby. Seems my flame in your heart's done gone out. Some more of that spelling, punctuation, and grammar that we were talking about earlier. Points all round, guys. Points all round. That was a wonderful. I'm glad that we left that one to the last because I think that one ended up being the best. Let's head back to me. So we've got all the points that we could have got, right? Right? Wrong. Minute to win it, guys. It is the most exciting minute in quiz shows today. Boom. You just need to read my mind. There is something on my mind and you just need to extract it with your creative skills. To make it easier, it's written down. It's placed on my lightbox. This is a live feed of my lightbox. It does have, I will say, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, will have seen already that it does have my son Jesus lying in front of it. I do think we're going to be able to see the answer still, so I see no reason to move him. If we're all okay with that, then I think that's the way to go forward. Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? Here in New Jersey, New York area, the New York metropolitan area, let's say, in one of the rivers, I can't remember which one, a large boat sailed underneath a bridge that was too short for it and snapped its sail clean off. It looked ridiculous. And so with that in mind, I have decided to honour the captain, the foolish captain of that ship, by asking for famous bridges. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one today. Make as many guesses as you can in this 60 seconds. Each one has to be in its own chat message, but just keep on going. Yeah, let's get going. London Bridge, lovely MPF. Golden Gate Bridge, fabulous. Golden Gate Bridge over the River Kwai. I really like that approach. Maple Panda. Brooklyn, Kwai. Manhattan, wonderful. George Washington, that's great. Building a bridge to your heart, I'll accept it. My God, I'll accept it. Beckenham Bridge, not heard of that one. I can guarantee you that's not the one that's written down on there. Bridge of Sighs, wonderful. Putney Bridge, Bridge Club. Chelsea Bridge, Southwark. Everybody going for some from bridges in English-speaking countries. Interesting. Pont d'Avignon, says SJBeck72. Lovely stuff. Millennium Bridge, well done. Dartford Bridge, Blackfriars. Last few trickling in. Paris Bridge is Bridge de Croissant. Confederation Bridge in Prince Edward Island. Very specific. Wouldn't it be incredible if that was down there? Wouldn't it be incredible? Gateshead Bridge. For all the northeasterners in Newcastle and the Tyne area. Golden Gate Bridge, lovely. Mersey Bridge, Forth Bridge. And that is all of them. That one in Wales. I'll put that down as the last option. That one in Wales. It's good, but unfortunately, it's not right. Charles Bridge in Prague. Oh, what a beautiful bridge that is. That's a great shout, Maple Panda. Really nice. It's so dramatic, so gothic. But none of you got it right. I tried to give you a little clue. Said, everybody's going for bridges in English-speaking countries. But if you're going for a bridge in a non-English-speaking country, and one that's very creative in that it's referenced in a Shakespeare play, I think. The Rialto Bridge in Venice. In Venice. What a beautiful bridge it is. And that object, that is a Jesus sleeping peacefully, not engaging with the quiz. That's his choice. So nobody gets the bonus 2 points. But it wouldn't make as much, it wouldn't feel as good if somebody got it every time, would it? Rialto is a famous bridge. We are going there in summer. It's a sign. How exciting. Jesus, babe, you doing okay? He's deaf. He's pretty deaf these days, so that is not surprising that he can't hear me. That's fine. Never mind. Let's head back to main. Guys, while you are totting up your scores and getting them into the chat, I would like to very much remind you that in this quiz, you're only competing against yourself. There is no point threshold to being smart. If you've got all the questions right that you realistically could have been expected to get, then you are smart. Art doesn't become successful because of the opinions of others or box office numbers. It becomes successful when you, the artist, says, yes, that's great. If you think your performance today was great, then it was great. No two ways about it. And if you are watching this on YouTube, not live, do make sure you write down your score and your musing answers in the comments below, because I would love to hear how you did. How are we doing? A confident 15. My goodness, MPF. My goodness, what a performance. I'm afraid I was busy with protons, electrons, and ions. So I got very few points. That's fine. That's fine. Sometimes we all need to do a bit of ironing, don't we? That's fine. Anybody else, or is it Iron Man? That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Iron Woman. Sure. I was late, I'm afraid. Nil points. No, JRPV20. JRPV20. May I pull you up on that and say, you said you would learn to knit? That's a point. You said that your superpower would be emptying a dishwasher in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Just 70 seconds. Incredible. That's a point. And that was it. So you've got at least two. At least two. A mighty 8 points, says SJBeck72. Well done you. Well done you. Well, what that does mean, of course, is that is a barnstorming victory for Monkey Pixie Funk, and very well deserved. This isn't your first victory, is it, MPF? This isn't your first victory. No. This is your third victory. Well done you. Well done you. In your face, everyone, says Monkey Pixie Funk. You don't always have to be a good winner. When you have really dominated a quiz, I'll let you off with a little bit of housery. So thank you so much. So no live payment for next week. I am in a medical trial that they have the guys at guineapigforcash.com have promised me they're really going to go wild on me. So I could be pretty much an entirely different person by the time I come back. Will I still have all 10 fingers? Will I still have all 10 toes? Will I still have my sense of humor? Who knows? But I will be getting some money, and that's the most important thing in the world outside of art. But you need money to make them. Anyway, so the next 2 weeks, no live payment. Then we've got 2 weeks of no live payment. Then we've got 2 weeks of live payment. Then we've got another 2 weeks of no live payment. Incredible. Then we've got one final live payment, the art right now, on the 6th of July, and then it is the summer break. So then there'll be nothing for at least for like 2 months. So you've really got to make sure. Well done you guys for knuckling down with showing up today. I very much appreciate it, and it is to your credit that you have done that. So yes, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you felt creative all at the same time. I am Notme. I am Art, and I hope you'll join me next time, same place. The next quiz will be on the 15th of June, where you'll have another opportunity to improve your art and say to yourself, yes, I am smart. Thank you, Monkey Pixie Funk, and thank you, Maple Panda. I will see you on the 15th for another quiz. I will see you on the 8th for an art right now that will absolutely blow your mind. Game of Whole Birthday Edition. Remind me of that, send me an email or let me know something about that, and we'll make sure that is celebrated. Thank you so much, guys. Wish me luck on my medical trial. Hopefully I won't lose anything that's too dear to me, and I will see you next time.
So there we go, and well done you, whatever your score might be. I definitely think that you are smart, though prob's not as smart as me. Your art will be better, trust me on this, should be nothing short of sublime. That's why you learn, and don't stop now, I'll see you right here next time. I am smart.